Uh, 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 uh. You're 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check, mic check. Checking all messy mud babies. Mic check, mic check. Man, here we are, man. We ready to get messy in the mud pit. You already know what we do, man. If it ain't messy, it ain't me. It's the one and only Jimmy Worthy, man. I'm here with my brother, renowned Mark Anthony Williams.
Peace.
I know him as Ant. First of all, on the script, unofficially and officially, man. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, you too, fam.
I ain't seen my guy in some time. You know what I'm saying? It's timely. I think it's timely because a lot of people, I get messy. So it's definitely time that we sit down and break bread. And it's a great platform to be able to pick your head, especially with the task at hand.
For sure.
No, you what, 17, 18? Around then when I came back home, 2007?
Yeah, I met Toya in 2019. Was it 2019?
2019?
No.
Man.
No, hold on.
Toya, if you're watching this, he apologized. I'm going to apologize for him.
Think about the wrong situation.
Yeah, I came back in 2007.
So
it was around that time.
Around the college time.
Yeah, man. If it ain't messy, it ain't me, man. Pleasure to have you here. Y'all know the basis of this platform, man. I know I talk about a lot of different topics, but at the end of the day, it all funnels down to mental health, mental health. I know the dog world, the American bully world brought me to this point, to where it was messy, but then I made a situation to where we could have an outlet to talk stuff a little bit in an unconventional way. Dogs are at my forefront. Dogs give me therapy, as I always tell people. Therapy first. We need different things in avenues to be able to release, and get us through life. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have a support system. A lot of people don't have just things, again, just to give them a break from just the messiness of life, just to get through, to think positive. And my top 3 is, you got to be able to feed yourself first. God bless you, feed your family. And then the thirdly, be able to effectively feed and be a cohesive unit in your community, man. Without those 3 things, with my principles, I don't think we have too much. You know what I'm saying? I can't help my brother and my sister if I can't help myself, which is why number 1 is make sure. My mom always told me, shout out to my mom, when the plane is crashing, what does the flight attendant tell you to do first? You know what they tell you to do? The flight attendant, when the plane is going down, when the oxygen mask drop, the instructions are put your mask on first, then help the person to your left or your right.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always used that principle to get me through life, because sometimes we live very unselfishly, too unselfishly sometimes, where we'll sacrifice ourselves and we'll outburn ourselves for other people, and we'll drain and deprive ourselves of the new theme, self-love, and you know what I mean, and things that we need to heal ourselves and keep ourselves afloat. Again, I'm no good to none of y'all if I'm not in my right mind. And if I'm not in my right mind, I'm doing nothing but giving y'all bad vibes and bad information, bad energy, and that's what I don't want to do. I never want to be at the forefront of anything where I'm over destroying people and tearing people down. That's not what we do here, man. With that being said, man, it's been a while, man. It's been 4 or 5 years almost.
Something like that.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years, man. Last time I seen you, like I said, we keep it messy, man. Last time I seen you, goddamn, we was going through some messy things.
Yes, sir.
Keeping it a buck, you know what I'm saying? The man had you by the grips.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
He thought he did anyway.
Yeah. Well, they had you for a little bit. I was there at court. I was there with you. They legally, legitimately had you. But you were able to work through that situation. Here we are today, man. So tell me what's been going on over this, past couple of years up to now, man. Let's talk to the people, man.
Man, it's just been a lot of spending time with my family, get my mind right.
Okay.
A lot of stuff going on mentally,
Yeah.
as well as life. Life goes on at the same time. So when you're dealing with two realms at one time, you know what I'm saying, and you really focusing, trying to home in on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm.
You know,
As a man.
sometimes you just gotta duck off in your space and take some time for yourself for a little while.
Yeah. A lot of people. I think a lot of people. We get caught up, like you said, in the different realms of this world, this life, man. We get caught up with a lot of distractions. You know, I say that a lot. This world is built with, you know, a lot of distractions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything tangible in your hand is bound to distract you from what our goal is in our journey of life. And you know, that's why I kind of made the title, you know, discovering the pieces, you know, finding your piece, you know what I mean? The pieces that you need to navigate through your journey of life, and to be able to navigate through your journey, you know, essentially, I think you have to know what they call your purpose, you know what I mean? And a lot of people underplay that and overthink that at the same time as far as their purpose, because how we was raised, you know. Most people are raised in you know, with the, you know, 1, 2, 3 cookie cutter, you know, go to school, do good, you know, get good grades, get you a good job, you know, get you a nice house and a car, and you know, get you a little family or whatever, and live a happily, you know, quiet life. Systematically, that's what they teach us. You know, go about your way. The problem lies, you know, when we go against the grain of that, you know, 1, 2, 3 plan. You're like, man, go to school. What if I don't want to go to school? You know what I mean? Get a nice house, nice car. What if I don't want a big house? You know, what if you know what I mean? And you start to be a disruptor in this lifestyle when you start thinking outside of the stage 1, 2, 3 things. We came up at a time in church to a certain point. I know it's been some years since I've stepped foot inside the church myself, on the journey of, you know, finding the pieces to my piece. It's a very the right word is fickle path. I don't know if that's the right word. I can't use my Siri right now, but when you take steps in going against the norm of the following the script, you tend to start to look a little what they call crazy to people. You start to look like a sore thumb. You know, you start to look like what they say, like you're a leopard. Like people don't necessarily want to be around you no more because, you know, past the hee hee ha ha and a few jokes, they're like, "Oh, you serious?" So small house is good. Well, we don't like small houses. Oh, no house. Oh, so you don't have to own a house. Oh, so you don't have to get married yet. Oh, like, oh, okay. So you don't have to have a job making $100,000 a year to be happy. No, why? Because I seen 10 people with jobs with $100,000 and they miserable. You know what I'm saying? I seen 10 people with Lexus Beamers all brand new, not the old used ones with high mileage on it. They brand new. And they look miserable. They look good on the outside when they drive through and get their little pat on the back. Nigga, you did it. But you know, ultimately, that's not for everybody. And like I said, with Spider-Man, they say with much power comes much responsibility. So, in finding the pieces that give you peace, man, what has your journey been like? You know, for the most part, and rediscovering you, and getting to this new plane of life.
Been a lot of building in the Word, of course. You know, that's my studies. That's where I spend a lot of my time, a lot of my mind. You know, keep me in perfect peace.
What's the word for the slow people?
The word is the inspiration of the Most High, the inspiration of the Creator. I say inspiration because translation and things like that can get a little messy.
I vouch for that.
But I feel like for the most part, the the words of what's called the Bible,
Mhm.
in other texts in other religions and parts of the earth.
Mhm.
They all feel like they're all speaking about the same thing,
Absolutely.
just in different translations.
Mhm.
So yeah, I say it's because there's an original word
Mhm.
that's placed on stone.
Mhm.
You know, uh, pyramids or whatever got the pictures and the things of that nature, and then people put words on it,
Mhm.
trying to translate it. So I believe that the word of the Most High is true,
Mhm.
and there's enough life in the words that we got to get you where you need to go. So I've been building on. People never had an image. People come up with images.
Mhm.
I mean, look, however many different ways somebody want them to look.
Right.
But when the image finally come, you know what I'm saying? When you ready to come to the door and it don't look like you thought it was gonna look. Although it's a nice door, it's the way that it gets you where you trying to go, where you need to go,
Break that down.
where you want to go. Well, in the word it says, "I am the door. No man comes to the Father, but through Him. He's the door."
So when you say image, what do you mean by image? They're looking for an image. Image of what?
The image of the Creator, the one that everybody thinks that. I'm gonna say think that because it's an individual walk. People take the word how they want to take it,
Mm-hmm.
but a image to the one that had no image,
Okay.
the visible image of the invisible.
Okay.
So the good news is that that's here now.
So the image is here now.
Yes, sir.
That would be the image of our Creator, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how is that image displayed in your opinion?
And your brother right here next to you.
Bust it down. Bust it down. Talk to the people, man.
It happened. It's done. We just waiting on that appointed time right now.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I like this particular point and topic of conversation because you gave me your link to check out,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't find my book, but I had something similar some years ago, probably about maybe almost 20,
Okay.
in one of my smaller Bibles that I got when I was in Iraq, and if I'm not mistaken, either my mom reading. And I was just reading on the different tribes and reading about the spirit in so many different ways. The spirit of God, the name of God, names of God. And when you showed me the shield and stuff, I had received so much about the helmet and the shield, and just told me when they talk about the armor of God, I had just different things that came to me over some time, and then really put me on I feel like my real journey. Shout out my cousin Blue. We have heavy conversations, not for the weak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? About spirituality and stuff like that. But when you get to know and understand, in my strong opinion, God, some reference points. Again, I can't at this point remember an definite scripture, but just things like when they say He knew me as He counted the stars. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He knew us by name and stuff like that. Before He formed this earth and this world, this universe. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that resonates with me. You know what I mean? Just to know if the smallest milligram grain of God made this body, the fact is that God is in you. That we have a spirit and this is a shell. If you can really just digest on that's powerful in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, not to go too far off left, that's what the great war is, with these people who try to hold down us as a people, us melanated people, us original people, is to, I feel, to cut away our connection with God, because if you tap in with God, God gives you hope, and hope gives you focus and power. And once you pull that power out, you're a dangerous person. You covered when you walk out here in this world. And respectfully feel like your shit don't stink. You know what I mean? Because you know you're a proud child of the, you know, our Father and Creator God. You know what I mean? And when you walk and do things that seem a little bit obscure to people, it's not obscure to people who understand. Like, we can laugh and chuckle. I'm like, oh, my man went from carpentry to boxing. You know, I'm gonna laugh at a lot of stuff, but as far as the serious business, I understand different things takes us to different places of life, and God gives us. You could impact 10 to 100 people in that gym just by being in that gym, whether you're there for 10 years or 10 days. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And people don't understand those things. They're like, man, I got attention deficit disorders, man. I'm here, I'm all over the place. But I believe, like, God don't make no mistakes, even when I'm late somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And knowing I should have been, you know, I could have prepared and not been late, you know, because I always procrastinate. But 10 out of 10, I'm like, God probably kept me from something. God probably kept me from an accident. And it be like that. Some of those things you get to see manifest, you be like, damn. Like, whew. And some you don't. You know what I mean? So just being on the journey of discovery and divulging, you know, from the scripture, I think it's important. Like I said, there's a lot of different versions, a lot of different books and stuff like that. There's a lot of material out there, but eating straight from the tree, the fruit from the tree, it's like our morning smoothie, you know, our morning shake. And it took me a while, me personally, to kind of get back to it, to be honest with you, as me and my cousin talked, because I was a little bit distraught at a leg of my journey, you know, under certain shepherdship. You know what I mean? And I kind of applied that across the board because we're humans. So in that, right, there's nothing you can tell me outside of a human scope. Once you get over people, once you get a few pats on your back, you know what I mean? We all run that risk. You know what I mean? I think you start to lose. It's easy to lose focus on the main mission, which is the people, getting them to know the name of God, getting them tapped into the power of God, and then letting them know, once they know the name and get tapped in and get powered up, to get out into the world. That don't mean get comfortable. That don't mean sit back and get comfortable. That means to get out into the world and do work. You know what I mean? And right now your place is in the gym, man. How's your family feel about you boxing and everything right now?
Well, really, Raji, you know, my youngest, he taken up a liking to the boxing. So I've been taking him up there. I might just be his trainer while I work on my ministry. So like I said, the boxing was an initial idea to get me to change the situation.
Right.
But and the downtime and thinking and not getting up and you know, having to be somewhere for a certain amount of time a day, using all your energy. I had time to sit down and think, walk, breathe, exercise, and then coming to the realization of what I'm supposed to be doing.
And with that point, I think I commented on a young lady, Islamic lady this morning. My cousin sent me on Instagram, and she was trying to break down, or her point as far as her post was, you know, how women get looked down on for using, you know, their support system, or using daycare, XYZ, to get ahead. And you know, my commentary on that was, matter of fact, my commentary on that, I'm gonna summarize why I bring it up, was that this world as we know it, here we go. I said, I think through time and the perpetuation of inequality has given cause for more outsiders to raise our kids than their immediate family. The women want to work as much or more than a man to suffice the newfound yearning of individualism. I'm more than just a mom. I'm more than just XYZ. But the truth is, we've lost touch with our kids while trying to discover or rediscover ourselves in so many situations. So I believe we want to see or try to produce and raise a better version of ourselves, but certainly at a cost based off today's societal standards. I'm not saying it's fair or right. I'm just stating what it is in my opinion. Each individual sex barely knows how to be what they are today, Yet we are pressed to cross boundaries and defy the odds by taking on opposite roles, gender roles in the home. The hierarchy in the home has dissipated. We, as a people, give more leverage to our management structure at work than we do it with the partners in our home. We will talk with more consideration to our boss, supervisors, and managers than we do our life partners. We will go the extra mile to people only vested to us at work more than we do to people at home for a false sense of value. He or she is not paying your bills or raising your kids, but we will make exceptions and go all out to prove to ourselves for a world that won't bat an eye if we drop dead today. In my opinion, it's a sad truth. If we are makes me apprehensive to our future. But I fully understand that it's our current reality. Our reality is business of the home, business of the mind, business of the heart, business of the workplace. We want to be doted, recognized, appreciated, and what we perceive to be in a genuine way. This is why we feel like we are accepted in our skin. This way we feel like we are accepted in our skin and in our life and have a full purpose. I said that to say, as small and simple as it seemed that you're able to take your son with you to the gym, in a perfect world, we would all do that every day. We talked about walking and talking earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
How else are we supposed to teach and ingrain our principles into our children if we're separated with them every day, chasing the cookie cutter 1, 2, 3, the great school, the great education, the big house, the big job? Because I think a wise rapper once said, R.I.P. Biggie Smalls, more money, more problems. You know what I mean? So when we chase the material things, it's a distraction. It throws a lot of distractions our way to get us away from the image, to get us away from the word. And we start to recreate that toxic lifestyle for our kids. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to take our kids to work with us and you know, learn carpentry. Times have changed over years and years, and there were kids and stuff learning trades and stuff, but you know, there's labor laws and stuff. You can't work. Minors can't work. There's liability over there plugging stuff in electrical sockets while you're trying to work. But we have to put our kids off in daycare systems and nannies and stuff like that, to where everyone else has an influence and has the ear and attention to our children before we do now. You know what I mean? So I think for me, it's powerful. It's powerful for you to say, just in that small statement, it was power just right there, is saying that you're able to take your son or sons out at different times and integrate with them while they see their father work out, while they see their father do his daily tasks, while they see their father come home and take care of the household, while they see their father engage with their mom. For me, my new attainment of knowledge and understanding, like, the family is really important. From what you're saying, finding that piece, getting those pieces together to find peace. The family is huge. The family is huge. Again, a lot of our community comes from broken homes. So they not trying to hear you. You know how it goes, especially when I was a child. I thought I was a child, right? Man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. You don't know what struggle I'm on, old head, right? You don't know what I'm going through. But it take being locked up. It take being, you know what I'm saying, being in unconventional bad situations, and God getting you through them situations. You understand what I'm saying? To be able to really stand on what you're saying over there about the image of God and walking in the power of the word. You know what I mean? And I think that's vital, man. What are some of the we gonna have testimony time. If it ain't messing in me, you already know what it is, man. I know I cuss a lot and do my thing, but you already know I'm always on my spiritual game. What are some of your biggest things you've conquered over the years, man, that you think is really a driving force for you to be a positive effect for your family and your community, man? What's some of the biggest things you conquered and overcame, man?
I would say the biggest thing that I conquered and overcame was death.
Come on now. How you do that, man? They sell it in the bottle. Was it 3 easy payments you get on Amazon? How that work? Say you overcame death. How that work?
Yeah, just being on my mission. It's something I had to do in my alone time.
Okay.
Nobody was there when it happened, but the fact that I got up and then able to talk about it right now and to share it with other people, that's the biggest thing that I've overcome. Yeah, I've been to jail and all that stuff, but to fulfill the mission that was given to me, that's the biggest thing for me.
Biggest thing. Okay. Well, I think I conquered death this week, this past weekend, man. If it ain't messing at me, you know what it is, man. Your boy, I had a brownie that should have been called a blackie. the brownie took me to the dark side. Now, you know, I'm on my grown manish at this point in my life. You know, I don't try to get too out of pocket, but in this particular situation, this edible, she was rich. You know, she was rich, and she almost left me broke permanently. I definitely was. I made some phone calls. I thought this was it. You know what I mean? All jokes aside, I thought I was out there. The times I could fully lift up my head, I was definitely talking to myself and my creator. You know, I was like, if this how I gotta go out, you know, I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I went outside, staggered. I'm over there trying to breathe, talking to my lady, my mother-in-law in there. Oh, I had Siri call my mama. You know, hey, real rap. Hey, I couldn't breathe out that joint. And I really to those y'all Matrix heads out there, I really went into the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people laugh and joke, and you know, y'all remember Martin Lawrence on Run Tell That His Stand Up, you know, when he went through his situation, his breakdown, they say his breakdown. He said the dope man gave me some of the ooh-wee. You know what I mean? Had him out there running, stripping his clothes, acting all crazy, but you know, he basically said he had some real near-death life situations that brought him close to the light, if you will. And I told my lady, I still ain't tell him in its full entirety, because you know they know I be, you know, on you know, on my spiritual tips, and they know I really be some things they're not able to digest when I speak certain things. But I had some shit that transpired, you know, while I couldn't quite hear you. Thank you, Siri. I had some things that transpired that I went on a real journey, man. And it's like that. What's the kaleidoscope when that jump you flipping, and it was so many things that my brain and spirit was just receiving when I was going down this joint, man. And to come back out and to have another chance to just let me know, you know, definitely keep going. Stay on your swivel. You know what I mean? Slow down. But keep going. You know what I mean? We got to keep giving the word out. We got to keep. Y'all know my one of my other brands under my brand. It's all about me. Motivation, inspiration, and innovation. I think those are 3 pillars right there. I want to always motivate people to do better, and within that motivation, inspire people to innovate, which is make change. Do the same thing we've been doing, but with a new spin to it. You know what I mean? Make change to better our lives, make change to better our spirituality, make changes, like you saying, a healthy body to strengthen up, you know what I mean, our mind, because you know, I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you be going down, but I touched early on our body, our chakra, our frequencies. You know what I mean? There's you know, our spirituality is deep. You know what I mean? It's deep. There's different, you know, religions and cultures out there. But again, my journey in the military caused me to be able to touch, feel, taste, and smell these different cultures that we're, you know, kind of taught and conditioned naively. Oh, they devil worship, or they do this, or they do that, and they do this. Like you said, it's different pieces to this puzzle. You know what I mean? So I've learned, I've climbed mountains, literal mountains. I've been to Buddhist temples. I've been here and there. I've been to Ireland. I've been Kuwait. I've been in Babylon. I've been, you know what I mean? I've touched. I put my feet, I put my blood in these things, and God spoke to me in so many different ways. You know, so I think that's why I'm glad we're having this conversation. That's why I'm glad I know people like you who've you know, been through some things, you know, who have been looked at, you know, in an obscure way at a point in time. You know? I said, what happened to my bro? Like, we say that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I knew what happened to him at the same time. Like, you know, we lost touch a little bit, you know what I mean? But I ain't got no secrets. My lady will tell you, you know, we definitely been through it, you know what I'm saying? And enough for anybody else outside of here to be like, what's going on with bro? You know what I'm saying? And that's why we're here to build, man. That's why we're here to build, man. So you said earlier that you were trying to, I guess, start a ministry, so to speak, and why do you feel like you need to start a full ministry versus, you know, just go by your day-to-day, be your what they call it, a day-to-day disciple, if you will, or the day-to-day, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll use that word, versus you need to be full of a whole type of situation. Why you feel it, and what kind of ministry?
Well, I mean, for the past, I've been doing carpentry work since 2019. That may be the 2019 I was talking about earlier.
2019. Carpentry, toy. It rhymes. It kind of rhymes together, I guess. Yeah, it rhymes.
And it's funny how I came across it, because I didn't have my license. Like, it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? When everything went down, I didn't have my license, and you know, she was taking me to the temp jobs, and right up the street from the house, they started building something. So it was a little trail over there or whatever. So I said, man, let me walk over there or go over there. She took me over there and went to see if they was hiring, and I ended up getting a job, and it ended up being carpentry. Okay. So I didn't go out looking, you know what I'm saying, specifically for a carpentry job. I knew it was construction. That's what I do.
Right.
So that's how the carpentry all came about. I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm supposed to be
about your ministry. What made you decide? You said earlier that, you know, you're thinking about going down and starting a whole ministry. What specifically is your ministry, and why? Okay,
so I did go down that. I went that way to say, I feel like I've been doing the day-to-day ministry just by living it out. For, you know what I'm saying, for some years now. So I feel like now it's time to, like you said, when you get that wisdom and you get the knowledge, it's time to go out and share it with the people. Yeah. So I feel like now it's time to go share it with the people, and I'm leaning more so towards like colleges or university to try to find like a university home to set up and to do ministry. We can reach out to other colleges and universities, but to work on the kids that are being formed and shaped to go into the world as adults.
So you got a nonprofit that you're starting or have already started?
Well, it's just coming out the ground. I just started. You know, I posted up at a couple spots. I actually went to Virginia State this morning to talk to a couple people. Okay. So
how was the response?
I just had good dialogue and conversation. Like I try not to get directly to the point. Like we can fill each other out for a little bit, and you can see where I'm at with conversation. I can see where you at. So then when I bring you what it is that I'm trying to do, we can have a better idea of who we're dealing with.
So that's why I like, and my description of the word, as far as I use disciple as a disciple, if you will. I like to use that basis for what I do, because I think in the everyday comings and goings, when I meet people, where I meet them, when I need to meet them, I don't gotta prep no talk. You see what I'm saying? The time is right then and there. A lady might have dropped something, and you know, you picked it up, and she just thank you, baby. God is good. Oh man, you and we start right there, man. It's good to hear people still talk. And I'm talking about my dogs. I'm talking about just in the quick couple of minutes or seconds that we engage. Hey, I really appreciate. Can I get your number? Maybe I'm gonna get my. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. And for me, that's how I build and prefer to build. Only because of my fears. Like I said, God bless those who want to organize a formal situation. I just feel like, you know what I mean, people, once you get once you get a lot of people directly under you, and you know what I'm saying, you got a direct focus. I don't care if it's spirituality or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have your regular job and you're a good team captain. Oh man, my team is outselling and whoop 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 whoop. You got to deal with that monster. You got to deal with that ego. You got to deal and you got all them people up under you, and it take a while for them to catch that you done went left on. You know what I'm saying? By then they halfway off the cliff with you. You're like, and you're responsible for that. So I like to keep the responsibility on the people. You know what I'm saying? Not the responsibility, because I like to make sure. With that being said, that's not a cop out. I want to make sure everybody's accountable for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's why for me, I like to you know what I mean, really get down to the walk and talk, man. When I'm out there with these dog people talking and stuff, and they hear all the crazy stuff and whoop whoop whoop. But when we engage 1-on-1, 10 out of 10, all my people, man, we thought you was like, man. I got a lot of people, man, no homo. I get a lot of people now, men, you know, hey, I love you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that back to them, you know, with a full heart. Hey, man, I love you. And we ain't got to know each other for years. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, oh, I saved you from your rent or not. Nah, man, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep pointing at the book like something in the book, but something is there. All praise be to the Most High. You feel me? But you said the word is seeing the image. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I see God in you. And if that's not what they saying, we not saying directly. That's got to be. There's no way I would go ahead and feel some way about a person that's not my family, who I only know in these spaces. But when I engage you in those spaces, it's just so, you understand what I'm saying? And we build.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's what God is. God is love. So when you feel that love, you're feeling that what that God is, what He wants for us.
Facts.
It's that love that's inside that make you feel something inside when you do something good for somebody else.
Facts. And we're able, for lack of a better term, to have, you know, church that way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Again, I take away different points from me and mine out the scripture. You know, and say, well, 2 or more are gathered. You know what I mean? So in that space, we have in church, and I tell my people that often. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, we had a quick little word. Like, hey, we just had church. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with that being said, again, you build your network, you build relationships, proper relationships, the same as you would in the 4 walls of a church. You know what I'm saying? Of an institution. And when you find those like-minded people, those like-minded spiritual people, again, you start to, hey, what do you do? What do you do? So you build a network or a renewed family of trusted, like-minded people with different skill sets, and you build and able to, you know, at different point in time, help one another. Because again, my big thing with church is most of these institutions forget about the war. I say that to say like this: at what point do people at any institution have to keep giving all their monies and materials to build a physical 4-wall roof structure that they can't take with them? And whoever that leader is, for the lack of description, the man of God over that institution, says you got to get to heaven. Well, why are we building this house of God to look like? You understand what I'm saying? The chandelier. How is that working when such and such light bill hurt? With such and such, and all you can do is I said we need to have faith and keep giving here and giving here and giving here and giving here. But I got to go back out to work tomorrow. My kids got to eat tomorrow. Church is coming together with those like-minded people, in my strongest opinion. Laughing, crying, sharing. Hey, brother, I needed that. Thank you, brother. A good word. If I can't help you at that, again, at whatever we talking about, you know what I'm saying? A situation having transpired, boom. If I can't directly help you, another hey, you know what, brother, such and sister, such and such. Let's see if they can get you going. And then guess what? You leave and go back out into the battlefield, the war, the other realm. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that gets lost a lot because everybody wants to spend these big $1 million churches and this, that, and the third. When all, in my strong opinion, give me a big field. If it's wintertime, give me a bunch of heaters. Make me a big pavilion. I'll take that's the biggest structure I need, like a big picnic pavilion, huge. In the wintertime, give me some heaters. Make sure my people want while we're gathering. In the summertime, give us a bunch of them little the big giant fans while we're gathering. I don't need no departments and this and that and the third. We don't live at the building.
Mm-hmm.
People build these things, and again, people get lost. Oh man, I manage a $2.5 million church, and I'm on this committee that don't do SHIT for the other people out there struggling and trying to figure it out. So that's what I don't like about the, I guess per se, the proverbial organization part, especially when it comes to a building. I won't say when it comes to a ministry per se, because a ministry could be anything. You know what I'm saying? That's not a non-physical thing per se as far as a building. But I like to put the accountability back on people, because a lot of people, once they get a good usher, a good shepherd, they like to go again. That becomes their God. Well, you said, and it didn't work for me. So damn you and your God. Oh, that's a big responsibility. That's a lot of pressure. Hey, Pastor, how you? Hey, brother, I tried praying with you. It didn't work. So, I'm gonna need to hold something. I'm like, come in, bro, let's talk. I didn't tell you it would work that way. You know what I'm saying? But I used to be in a very darker spots. I'm not as dark as before by the grace of God. But I get to get in these things. If I don't have the proper distractions for me, I get to thinking about one thing, and it go from one thing to 1,000 things, and the noises get in my head, and it gets real dark. But I'm thankful I'm in a space to be able to have the tools that God showed me. Another scripture, again, I can't tell you what I'll Google it and send it to you, but he won't put more on your shoulders than you can handle. So I took that to translate to me. I know if I'm still breathing, I'm getting out this situation, right? And since it's written that I'm going to make it out this situation, my prayer always, God, show me the tools that you have provided for me to help me get out this situation. I know I'm going to get through it. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not going to die because I'm not dead right now. You know what I mean? So I definitely want God, show me the people, places, and things that you have for me to help me and mine get through to the next situation. So that's how I kind of look at it, like I said, on my daily discipleship and stuff like that. So are you guys formally going to look for, as far as the ministry, is there a name to it? And are you actually trying to, get a physical headquarters? You said you're going to do multi-campuses. Like, map out, give us a little picture.
Well, the original plan was to, get a church built. I wanted to get a church built the way that I wanted it to look. I wanted to have a gym where, the people, whoever's coming can have a place to work out. I wanted to garden. So we have fresh crops. I wanted like a for real community. Wanted or want? Huh? Wanted or want? Well, like I was saying, I'm thinking more about, and it could still happen. I was thinking more so about the university though aspect, because these kids they come in and they going, so it's like it's moving, like it keep flowing, and you just keep sending people back out into the world. They can come back, the alumni and stuff come back to the college all the time. Right. So you can come back, kick it. We break bread on the homecomings and have a good time. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said about having fun. I wrote down here, I had seven days mapped out. One of the days is free fruit, rest, fun day. Play some cards. You know what I'm saying? Do cornhole, whatever it is you like to do, but we just out there having a good time. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And, when people, I don't know what all the ins and outs of other ministries, but I'm trying to do it the right way. Well, that was a great segue for the other stuff I enjoy talking about. So doing it the right way, you definitely need to have an incorporation of some type. So whether it be an LLC or 501(c) nonprofit organization, which means you're tax exempt. And then once you do that, you go ahead and you build up your make sure you set up your proper profiles online. And after you get your EIN number and you build up, you have to go through a tenure of time to set up your business credit and things like that.
So you make yourself more valuable to the people you're talking to and trying to reach out to when they feel like there's it's a mutual benefit, like they're not footing the whole situation, so to speak. So when they say be about the business of God, that happens to be the actual operative business of God, not the spiritual business, but the actual physical business. So keep that in mind, in preparation, on the materials you'll need to be successful with that. It's never just a hope and a dream. There's some physical things that have to be done, again, for people to properly receive you. And I stress that a lot with my dog people when they want to, I want to come and get in with you, do a show. I want to do a meet and greet. And we didn't did the hood partnerships and the off the records. But I just said last week, no more, because we headed to some new planes and new horizons. And there's no way we can make bigger moves and big moves to reach more people if everybody's business affairs is not in order. I say that very often. I say, if y'all business affairs is not in order, nothing you got going on is going to blossom and come into any kind of fruition. It's going to stay, that faith of a mustard seed going to stay just about that big. It's just the truth, because you'll do yourself a disservice, because you might want to get some different learning materials. You might want to get some laptops or different little things for those fun days and have a little center, on campus. They might give you a little building or something. So you might not have to foot out the money for a building. They're like, man, I like what you're doing. We got a little situation over here. Okay, I need a building. I need a computer. I need to teach. So, okay, what else do you have to offer? I'm like, man, oh, no, I just need the space, brother. I got the software. I got the teaching. You know what I'm saying? I got test. Yeah, Gucci. Okay. I got everything I need to have to make the next move. And that makes us, again, a valuable asset to the people we're trying to partner up with. So definitely keep that at the forefront. You know what I mean? As a big thing on the to-do list is organize yourself accordingly. And I think, in my strong opinion, that helps people receive you more when you can articulate that the bases are covered. Other than that, even the kids out there who be coming knocking on your door, sir, would you like to buy candy bars to support my football team? And woo woo woo, you be looking at them crazy as hell. But what they do, they pull out that little piece of paper with that plastic slip, and they got their little LLC. You know what I'm saying? Their little situation to cover. So at least you can look at them like, bro, you trying to goddamn. You try to pull the one over on me. You know what I mean? Again, but once those certain things and criteria are met within the business world, again, you can go ahead. When God runs you across a person who again, I'm putting you on game to get the jump start. You know what I'm saying? So when you do meet a person, like, man, oh no, we can really take this thing to the next level. I can get you whoop de whoop, and you still ain't got your 1, 2, 3 together. You know what I mean? I'm just putting you on game, as I do all my people, man. Make sure everything's in order, and God gonna bless you. And even with all my distractions, every time certain trademarks, certain things weren't in order that I thought was in order, and left us exposed, God brought recognition to those things. And once they were rectified, it allowed us to go to the next plane and reach a different group of people, man. In a perfect world, I'm blessed to be able to breathe and live and eat how I eat, and by the grace of God, none of my kids have seen a daycare center. That may be nonchalant, small to a lot of other people, but that goes to support what I said earlier. Again, it's great. It seems small and minuscule, but it was great to hear, man, I could take my son to the gym with me. Oh, I can go ahead. I decided to go ahead and move from carpentry to, and you know what I mean? In a perfect world, everybody will move like that. I don't care what they say. Because that's what people fight to get rich for. Man, I went to college. I didn't really like what I was doing in college. Man, I did this job. I get paid 6 figures a year. I don't really like the job. I really just want to go out in the garden and plant. well, honey, you can't do that, right? You got to have the proper money. So you go back, you hop right back on the slave ship. You know what I'm saying? You hop right back on the wagon to do the same crap and hop on the same hamster's wheel. When it's always about the simple stuff. This life is complicated. This world is complicated. Life is not complicated. Life is not complicated. Grow your own vegetables. Life is not complicated. Eat good. What you put in is what you get out. You put in your body, that's what comes out your skin. That's what comes out your stools. That's, you know what I mean? It's real simple. But no, I got to give me a quick snack because I got to leave 2 hours early to work because my good job is, an hour and a half that way or 45 minutes. I got to make sure I get the kids and drop them off to the daycare center so they can take them to school, the after school program and all the, you got all this thing. I really just wanted to get home and get in the garden. I really just wanted to get up, say my morning prayers, do some stretches for about an hour, watch the sunrise, get that energy in me, get motivated, get powered up, and just go walk amongst the people. And did I miss anything, right?
Hey, that sounds good to me.
Right. Okay then. Life is simple. This world is complicated. So I'm blessed and I'm thankful that, me and my wife has been in a position to, to watch over and instill the things that we instill in our kids, man, and have their ear for the most part. It's a fight every day with them being in the world, but for the most part, we are the most vocal points of teaching and learning and instilling in them, to prepare them for this world. But a lot of people don't say it like that. They say, you need to do more. You should be doing this. No, that's what the discipleship, that's what the ministries are for. You know what I mean? Hey, this is a haven for you. You know what I mean? This is a place where you can get your mind right, regroup, and get back out there. Everybody, when people say, I gotta come home and stay with mom for a little bit. Good. And mama say, get back out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So what's your ballpark time frame on as far as planting your feet down on a foundation, VCU? What's your time frame you're looking at as far as really getting things kicked off?
I mean, I'm really kind of just taking it one day at a time, because new ideas come in my head every day. You know how that go.
Yeah.
You come up with a new plan, maybe a better game plan or audible on the play.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking it one day at a time. And today I ended up at the whole college route.
Yeah. So how's the family? The family supporting you on this new journey?
Well, if
it ain't mess, it ain't me, man. Hey, keep it 1,000 out, man.
I am. It's a little. I mean, like when you grow up with people and they used to seeing you a certain way, and then and then you enter into a different light, and it's time for them to see you in another way.
Oh, I think I said that starting off, didn't I? man, that boy good.
A change got to happen, or an adjustment. And the people who are used to being in power and used to having all the knowledge and wisdom, when that start to change, or when the change of hands starts to happening, it's a little tough to adjust. So I mean, that's when I just keep operating in love. As far as my sons go, I sat down and had a real conversation with them who their dad is. I had the same conversation with my wife too, but she's grown. It's a little tougher to get to the grown than it is to the kids. You could tell kids something real simple. Do you get it? Yeah, I got it. You tell a grown up that, they go into all the philosophy and everything that they read and everything that
facts,
all the knowledge that they acquired, instead of listening to the facts and and knowing who is telling you and who you're dealing with.
Well, I think that's the love part. I think I said that earlier. As far as, like I said, even with my situation this weekend, I still haven't fully let my people. Because for the same, like we definitely have deep spiritual conversation. But if I were to go and tell them the revelations I had while I was on the brink of death, throwing up in the bathroom, they'd be like, okay. With that being said, that's where the patience and love and understanding comes from, because I don't care what newfound this, and it could be fact upon fact, like undisputable fact. Until something has happened into that person's life, that's why I like to, again, walk and talk and meet them where they're at. Because the odds of me meeting a person right there on that level of conversation we happen to spark up right there, they've been through something to accept and receive what I'm saying to make it make sense for them.
Mm-hmm.
When you're engaging with people who are what you're saying is heavy and it has some weight to it and some real meat, they haven't been through a particular situation where it makes them say, "You're right."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you got to respect that. You can't shun them for it. You can't hate them for it. It feels difficult at times. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like I feel down like, man, you really don't get me. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand me. So you go through that little space. But overall, you can't fault them. You know what I mean? You can't fault, but that's what spreading the good news is, man. Hey, man, great comments. Hey, good meeting you. Hey, thanks, wife, for goddamn. Thanks for hearing me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Thanks for hearing me out on the part you did. You know what I'm saying? And you got to keep going. I can't, you know, treat you like my enemy or nothing like that because I love you. The people who I don't know, again, I know people I've known for just a couple of years now, and I've said, you know, authentically and genuinely, like, I love you. You know, and it feels weird to a point, but it don't feel weird. It's like a freeing thing to know that you can see and feel a spiritual see and feel, you know, like, damn, man, like, man, hey, man, I wish all of you well, but man, hey, I appreciate that. I needed that, man. And it hit you in such a way, man. If there's anything I can do, you let me know. You know what I mean? And that's where, for me, where they said the favor of God, that's where the favor of God comes from. You know what I mean? You meeting these people who don't need to know you, who don't need to do anything for you, and they like, man, you touch me in such a way. I appreciate you, man. If you need anything, and you don't misuse or abuse that what they said just then. You know what I mean? It's like when I NEED, not WANT, not when I want, when I need you and I call you there. That's priceless. That's priceless. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's definitely so it's a little struggle, but at the same time, you're supported on your journey.
Yeah, at this point in time, you know, it's been some years getting adjusted, but at this time, you know, I feel like me and her, our family, our unit is stronger than it was before. We had to go through some stuff to rebuild it and make everything back right. Yeah, in a good space though, where your heart is correct, because people can get the money where their heart ain't right. And that's when they mess up. When you get your heart right, then you get the money. Then you know what to do with it. You can operate in wisdom and be able to not hoard it.
I agree.
And also not be able to work for a lifestyle. You're not working for materials. You can live a base life.
Less is more, baby. You know that's my motto. Less is more. Like, now I need, and I'm gonna have it. Women gonna put the screw to you. It's hard being a man with a vision in this world because you be like, yeah, that's cool, but
if that car break down, we can get you what you
right.
want, but you don't need 4 or 5 cars.
Come on, man.
You don't need that.
Come on.
So living the basic life, and if your pocket's fat, you have enough to give to other people. You can share. You know what I'm saying? That's living an abundant life.
Amen. Yeah. Shout out to our wives, man.
For sure. For sure.
Definitely dealing. Dealing with. And it's hard. It's hard for us all. Like I said, I touched on it when I spoke on my Instagram post. You know, everybody wants to live in what they feel the fullness of their life is, but you know that we're detoured or derailed because the world says we should be, you know, XYZ, and the world says you're missing out on XYZ. When in this. I know I'm gonna get bashed for this, but in a perfect world, you know, it is what it is. The man's the hunter, the provider, the woman's the nurturer. You know what I mean? And the initial teacher. We both teach our children. You know what I mean? But she's the initial institution, you know, of love and nurturing in our home. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, this world has progressed to the point to where they make the woman feels so less that she feel like she needs to be outside the home and she needs to accomplish all these things. And depending on what kind of home you got, most of those homes, again, you putting your kids in all these programs and you putting you know what I'm saying? Everybody sees your kids more than you. So I say, what's the point of having kids? You You know what I'm saying? If everybody else is raising them, and puts back to my ministry, my discipleship, it takes the accountability off of you and puts it on other people. But then you can blame other people. Who said what? I can't believe she said. Well, what did you tell them? They were the teacher for 6 hours a day. They had the before and after school program 2-3 hours total a day. They had the soccer coach 2 hours a day. What we do as parents? What's the new wave? All right, everybody get up, get your breakfast, get your lunch together. Okay, this is good. All right, good. See you, love you, be safe. All right, how was school? It was good. Great. Okay, get up. Wash your hands first. Take the look at it. Go ahead, take a bath. It's almost time for dinner. Clean up. Wash your hands. Good night. Goddamn. Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
You know, and that's and that is the world, the okay world. That's the you're doing good world. That's the world that's supposed to make everyone happy. Is having children and letting someone else raise them and tell you that you need more. You're not enough. You know what I mean? But somehow through the ages, the translation of a man and woman's, duties and responsibilities home was skewed. Somehow, the man became the plight and the overbearing and the abusive, situation to make the woman feel or she needed more, and we treat him a certain way. So here we are today. That in short, that's our reality. So it takes a strong woman to support her family, not just her man, but her family. You know what I mean? And even though we have some ideas and things that might be what people say are off our rocker, they stay and they support us through it. And they trust us to a point enough, to give us leeway, to discover. But the burden of proof is if they give us that room, man, to go out and hunt and go on these journeys, if you will, spiritual hunts, you gotta come back with something. You gotta put something on the table to eat, right? And if it don't make sense to them, if they can't digest it, there lies the problem. Maybe that's a fresh kill. That's a fresh kill right there. That's vitamin C, D, and everything right there. Any salt on it? Should we cut it up a little bit and saute it? But no, you got to eat that thing fresh. And that they look at us crazy. And then they like to, go back and look at their friends and, well, such and such, and I'm missing out. Like, nah, babe, we ain't missing out on nothing. Less is more. Less is more. So again, this world is crazy. This world is built with distractions. This world is complicated. Life is not that complicated, but they won't let us live our life. They won't let us have I don't even need 40 acres, baby. They want to give me my 2-3. You know what I'm saying? Give me enough to go ahead. Give me some beans. Again, no, I need this and that. No, you don't. That's why we all fat and you know what I'm saying? We need all they made us feel like we have a need for all the wrong stuff to put in our bodies. Crazy. They sell it to us in a bottle. This is a bottle. What is it? It's 100% pure imitation. Now, how's that for a selling point? It's pure imitation. It ain't pure imitation.
You put natural.
All natural from concentrate. Well, goddamn. Kids, make sure you get your cup of juice in the morning. Killing them. Hype as hell. But what can you do? High fructose is in dang near everything. And they've been having it so much. When you give them that fresh kill, that real nutrients, I don't like how it look. It don't taste the same. So you rather the bull crap and the lies and the deception. To my Matrix people, you want the blue pill or you want the red or the blue pill. People don't want the truth. There's few people who actually really, really want the truth, and there's a big group of people who actually know the truth and just don't want to deal with it. You know, they just don't want to deal with it. Again, one of my movies, The Matrix, my man said, you know, he's one of the sabotages or the saboteurs. You know, he was leading them to the downfall, and he told them, like, man, he just put me back in and put the taste of a steak in my mouth, man. He was unplugged. He saw the world for what it was, and he said, I'd rather go back to the Fugazi. So he turned it. He turned on his whole team and almost got everybody killed because he was like, man, he was the Judas. He's like, bro, hey, nah, I'd rather give me the what's the new meat coming, then give me the new fake chicken that's coming. You know what I mean? That with no nutrients and nothing. Like that's the world we live in. People are about to accept. We cuss and fuss, and they're about to accept. There's one factory I seen. He said, dude, 200 tons a month. He said of fake chicken, sanctioned, stamped, and will be FDA approved. Fake chicken mixed up with the lines in it. It's gonna look like your favorite local spot chicken sandwich. I just seen a new commercial with the girl Kardashian on the joint doing a commercial for one. You know what I mean? People are dying for the fake. They don't want the real no more, bro. They rather die. They rather get rich or die trying. You know what I mean?
I think that's the difficulty in the scripture. They didn't want the truth. They didn't want the real. They wanted to hold their positions on what they was teaching in their doctrine. So when the truth started coming around, they're like, "No, we can't have that because he about to knock us off. You about to take our people. These my people." Not knowing who they was dealing with and who they was talking to.
But that's what it gets about them. As far as that KJV, that them Pharisees and the Sadducees, again, those were people who knew the law. They knew it so well that they became their own God. And it was like, this is it. There's no wiggle room. This is it or else. And they became rich and fat off of sticking. You know what I mean? And that, again, that's the thin line that we always gotta ride when we decide to put ourselves over people. And I won't say decide to put ourselves, but, you know, walk into, I'm gonna say transparently, you know, with God, because, you know, God will definitely, you know, he'll put you there. You know what I'm saying? I seen a joint from Mike Tyson what the boy said. He said, man, oh man, you doing great things in the boxing ring. He was talking to whatever the boxing name was. He said, man, you favorite for God. God thinks you special. He said, but you know what? The devil think you special too. As quick as God puts you on that pedestal, hey, the devil sitting, well done. You look good. Fellas, what can we give my man here for such a great job? What can we give my sister here for doing such a great job? Oh, pastor, old brother, whoever, man, I just want to be a blessing, man. I know you. I just want to give you this car, Benz. I ain't never want no Benz, man. Hey, trust me. In my realm, people do favors for you. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff you never thought, and you got to catch yourself because you'll think you're somebody. You know what I mean? You'll get distracted from the main mention when you get too many pats on the back. But that's why it's good to have a good base, a good foundation, a strong family around you. People that know you, and that's the full you, that know the pieces of you that you are gathering together to get your piece, that don't let you get too high on your horse, as they say. You know, so that's I think that's a positive thing for our women to you know, not necessarily agree with everything we say, or understand it how we want them to understand it, because we turn into those Pharisees. Well, the word says, why don't you understand? Whoa, who are you talking to? Like, I'm your friend. You know what I mean? And that applies to people outside the house, man. I told the kids today, you know, we have, you know, morals and principles that we stand on, and if your friends, you know, decide to infringe upon those things that we stand on, then we need to take a break from them. Period. That I said that ain't to be mad, or I said you're not disrespectful to them or doing anything in violation of their codes and nothing like that. Like, nah, okay, good. I said, well, if to my understanding there, y'all coming down the street and there's some kind of, you know, discord going on, fine. You before we take our break, reaffirm where you stand. Reaffirm where we stand at. So if and when we do come back together across paths again, we know how to handle each other accordingly this time around. You know what I mean? It's it's hard. It's hard with our children. It's hard with our children, and you homeschool, correct?
Yeah, they homeschool.
Yeah. So it's I thought next year, or the kids had initially asked me this year to homeschool, and we definitely had a strong opportunity when COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of went full fledged, but again, the dynamics of the world, kind of gets in the way. It's not really my wife's thing per se. I'm kind of more more patient when it comes to the to that kind of directive. But it's really a full-time situation, and the kids this year, to stay on point, they was like, mom was like, she just got her in a new career situation, respectfully so. She like, man, talk to your pop. And I said, well, we'll try next year. We just had baby Serenity. I was like, so, I'm definitely not no Superman in that regard, you know what I mean, to deal with a newborn and then, homeschool y'all. But again, that gives me accountability, because at the end of the day, most people really don't want their kids in no public school. Most people, again, you have to, because the way life is set up. But most of us know that the stuff they're teaching our kids. Most of us know the influence that they're around when they go into this world of these people. I studied, as my lady would tell you, I studied to be a teacher almost 2 years ago. 3 years ago before we moved, I got on track where I was preparing. I was like, man, I want to do this. I've been wanting to do this at Liberty. And I finally signed up once we moved here. And I took a semester. I did 3 classes. And I was doing one of the basic teacher 101, whatever that particular class was. And I got to chapter 5 and lost my mind. Why'd I lose my mind? If it ain't mess, it ain't me. I'm supposed to teach the children in a public school forum about the ABC community and handle it a certain way. And it said if I don't, in text, it basically in summary said that I have some kind of phobias and something was wrong with me if I'm not teaching them these things. And I couldn't get past it. I couldn't, and we educate again. I'm kind of self-contradicting myself because again, I wasn't in space to formally homeschool my kids, but the truth I'm going to tell you that I couldn't get past is what we tell our kids. Hey, everything you learn in school is not accurate. Do what you need to do to pass the test. And, I couldn't, in my adult space, knowing what I know, I couldn't just turn the blind eye to chapter 5 and 6. Hell, chapter 3 and 4, when they telling me the history of formal education in the United States, that, it was religious based, and it definitely wasn't for our colored people. Education as we know it, this school system as we know it back in whatever 1816 7, you know what I'm saying, when the Catholics brought it over, blah 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 blah. But to now be at a point to where this big world of equality, we're supposed to tell our kids, you have to you're supposed to accept these scenarios that you might encounter, and it's okay. Hell no, it's not okay with me. It's not okay with my lady. It's not okay. It's not what we stand, the principles we stand on in our home. And we had a situation transpire at school last year, and there was some words said in some meetings had. I said we don't teach our kids to disrespect nobody. I got all that in my family and more. Trust me. You know what I mean? Born and raised. Love them to death. With that being said, I got love and respect for everybody. But there's boundaries. And we only go so far. When certain things start to transpire, learn when to remove yourself from the people, places, and things, either the building of that person in that particular conversation. Hey, appreciate you, good talking to you. Just like my discipleship. Hey, man, God is good. Hey, bro, I don't need to hear. Hey, my brother, I ain't mean. Hey, my bad, brother. I was just trying to appreciate you, man. Hey, have a blessed day. I ain't. Hey, when I mention God, you don't need to. Well, when the ABC community come, well, you need to. No, we ain't gotta do all that. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Have a blessed day. But when you forcing me and telling me, oh, well, your kids need to, no, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I said, this is y'all buy. So with that being said, if my kids are in this predicament again and under your watch and certain things transpire and you now know where we stand at, you're going to see me in a different light. Period. So that's when we put on that physical armor and go to war for our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to force me to do anything. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing for our spiritual, minus the LBABC, community. You're not going to force anything. And that's why the Spirit of God is powerful as it is. You know what I mean? I can go ahead, with the light feather, make something feel like a ton of bricks on you. That's what conviction is. You know what I mean? That's what leaving impressing thoughts on people is. But man, I really appreciate it. I like how that brother conducted himself. I like how that sister conducted herself. Oh, they may be such and such, but I like the, and that gives you a different perspective of life. When you start forcing stuff on people, and I read that literature, man, and they told me that I had to teach these kids. I was like, nah, I'm not, I can't be no teacher. I said, because as much as I'm gonna spend to get this education, and what I really wanted to do was be a virtual private teacher and get that kind of money. Especially COVID woke that up out of me. I'm like, oh, which now is big money in private virtual teaching. But I'm gonna get fired as soon as I go to the student teacher part. As soon as the scenario, Mr. TJ. Sidebar, Johnny, come here. You can't tell my, what'd you tell my kid? I told him the truth. I told him the truth. So it's a harsh world, man. But we gotta have principles to stand on, and a lot of those things are diluted and being washed out as far as spiritual principles, in my very strong opinion, because, again, God puts you in the spotlight, and the devil gets a better shot at you. Every time we have a great idea and a great thought and stuff, man, here comes the powers that be to try to deter us. And unfortunately, sometimes it feels like initially sometimes that comes from our own home. Sometimes like, damn, man, I'm trying to be something great, goddammit. Damn it, you are great. I just need you to go and pick up some bread. Be great. Do it great, but be back by 15 because kids gotta go to bed, get ready for school.
You get it done.
You get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah, you get it done, man. The pieces, defining the pieces of peace, man. I love this genre of conversation. I love this because, especially just me growing up as an 80s baby and going through the eras of life where they took praying out of school, and you can't say great. And my kids know, and I'll be waiting. Attention, all. Any of me and my kids, I tell my kids every day, don't be ashamed of God. Pray over your food. Pray everywhere you are with everything you do. Always. When we out, I don't care. We could be getting ready to get blitzed, pissy, drunk. Hey, stop. I open up with prayer. Close with prayer. You understand? We pray about food. Never be ashamed of God, though. He will be ashamed of you. And that's what you don't want. That's what you don't want. So now we don't play that. And I'll be waiting. Did you pray? Yes. I'll be waiting for somebody to say such and such. Tell me. I'll be waiting. You want to see me go ape? I'll be waiting for somebody to say my kids can pray or do something or get their situation together. You know what I mean? For their day. Nah. But then you can go ahead and put flags in front of them and do everything else all open and try to convert them that way. And we ain't supposed to feel no kind of way. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. That will never fly with me in my household ever. So we need disciples. We need ministry. We need people out there waking, shaking, and moving and waking these people up, man. So I appreciate and respect that part of this conversation, your journey, man. It's needed because it's a certain type of fearlessness that goes with that. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain type of power you tapped in where you can just without thought, engage people and I share a testimony again. 'Cause people misconstrue the definition of what church and sharing, having moments are when it's really some everyday things. You sometimes just don't even know what you're doing. But when you know what you're doing, it becomes that much more powerful. That's what they say. What they say back about witnessing. Oh, make sure you get out and witness to people and da 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 da. I just did. You just didn't even realize it. And I'm be honest, like the simple common courtesy that has diminished so much. And when you stop recognizing people, that's helped. That has started the decline of relationships and spirituality to me. That's why even with bums, people on the corner, I'll make sure even I engage them in their eyes. I head nod, wave to them, whatever. If they out there on the corner and been passing the car, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't never just turn my head because people want to be acknowledged. You know, if you don't see me, how can I receive? You know what I'm saying? How can I receive something from you? Or if it's not you, someone like you, because we might not talk, but another kindred spirit might come past me. Like, nah, man, you know, I don't believe in God, bro. Nah, I seen you walk past me earlier, bro. Don't talk to me now. Oh, I seen you at such and such. Oh, you ain't talking to me. You cross paths again. You know, you never know, man. So you always just gotta stay on your P's and Q's, slow down, and take it, you know, one day at a time, man. Take it one day at a time. This platform for me, is one of the things, and there's so many products and things that I've made, and God has allowed me to manifest, and inspire people, man. The simple things, you know, I got, you know, children's book, barbecue rub, just different things. Whether they, you know, went, you know, super hard or was it just a small move, just the fact that people, oh man, I didn't know I can do that. Oh, I didn't know I can make this happen. Again, that's why it sounded simple, but I was like, hey, the vision is great. Make sure you got your affairs in order, or it will not go past an idea. It will not go past an idea. Each and every thought that we have, there's certain things that we have to do in this world, you know, to make stuff officially happen. Each church that we've been in, each denomination we've been in is an incorporated business of some shape, form, or fashion. 9 out of 10 of them should be, which ideally is a nonprofit, you know, church organization, whatever it's called, down at the SEC. I forget what they call the churches. But yeah, so that's the basic that them people got on the corner where they got their little buckets. And we're at such and such church, and they ripping people off, and they probably ain't up to no good, you know. But at least they got their situation squared away to where they can engage people properly, man. I think this was important, man. I think this was an important piece of conversation to touch on, and we need to have more conversations like this. I can talk about this stuff all night, man. Truly, man, truly. You know, most. I tell the basis. I can't say most. I'm gonna say all. Everything I've done has come from some kind of spiritual journey. My hashtag, the show, and the phrase "if it ain't messy and me" came from the hashtag "it's messy." It's messy came from, you know, my depiction of my journey in life. Shit ain't never been sweet for me. You know what I'm saying? All the cookie cutter 1, 2, 3s never worked for me. With that being said, it's been messy. You know what I'm saying? It's been messy, but through the muck, you know what I mean? You know, God revealed things for me, you know, through the messiness of life. So I kind of embodied, you know, the mud, if you will. You know, shout out to my mud babies. It's different little spin on people say I get it out the mud. You know what I mean? It's messy. We play in the mud, and, you know, and as I said to y'all today, I'm comfortable in the mud. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable being naked and transparent and exposed. People say, why you talk like that? You say too much. You say that. Why? I say the things you afraid to say. You've been wanting to say it. That's how I'm able to reach people the way I'm able to reach them. Like, why would you say something like that? Gotcha. Woo. Oh. You know what I'm saying? God comes in many shapes, forms, and fashions. You know, I've learned that God just don't come in a suit. God just don't come with, you know what I'm saying, on the pulpit. God just don't come from an old, you know, drunk wino who used to be something on the corner. You know what I mean? God comes in many shapes, form, and fashion. But the key thing I learned about God is you need to be in tune and ready to receive. I think that's the most important thing, because you can learn a lot from that wino. You know what I'm saying? On the corner, you can learn a lot from that man off the pulpit. You can learn a lot from any position, the president, all the way down to the goddamn what's the alderman? The alderman is like the beginning level of the congressman in your political journey. You can learn a lot, but if you're not in tune to listen, you'll miss a lot in life, man. So I definitely applaud, what you got going on. I applaud your growth. I definitely want to get you back, man, and get some updates on what you got going on, man. And I can't wait to see the family, man.
For sure.
You
set something up.
Yes, sir. Anything else you got going on, man?
Like I said, we're just taking it one day at a time. I think it's a good show. I appreciate you having me on here. Like you said, I'll come back definitely.
Yeah.
And we can chop it up about something else. You know what I'm saying? Make it all, tie it all together, make it all one.
Absolutely, man. We like to build, man. Before I go, most importantly, if I haven't said it, I think I have, but I'm gonna say it about one more time. Y'all know the phrase, it pays, baby. If it ain't messy, it ain't me. Appreciate you.
All right, brother. I'd like to say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
If I've said anything in error, I pray for forgiveness and the humility and ability to get the wisdom to correct it.
Amen. Yeah, that's what being part of Messy is, man. We have our best intentions, man. At the end of the day, we're not here to offend anybody. I'm just here to motivate and inspire, man. At the end of the day, no more, no less. I know I go all over the place, but I'm solely here to motivate and inspire the people. Share my story, share my guest story. To do no more, no less, man. Motivate and inspire you guys to be a better people, man. Better for yourselves, better for your family, and better for your community, man. Appreciate you guys, and see you next week. If it ain't messy, it ain't me.